Most people think that more sets equals more gains. But what if I told you that 2 hard sets could get you the same results as 5 and actually help you grow faster? So today, I'll explain why. First, you need to understand why your body stops benefiting from extra sets sooner than you think. So picture this. Imagine someone offered you £100 right now, and then another 100, and then 20, and then 5, and then just 1. Would you still spend the same amount of effort collecting every payment? That's exactly what's happening with your workouts. Your first working set collects the most fresh muscle fibers. Your second set still collects great growth stimulus. But by your third, fourth, or fifth set, fatigue's starting to kick in. Your muscles are tired, your nervous system is tired, and your performance drops. Each additional set produces less muscle growing stimulus than the one before. This is called diminishing returns. The problem is that those extra sets aren't doing nothing. The problem is they just don't justify enough for the fatigue they're creating. If you've ever felt completely exhausted from a workout, hit the like button. Trust me, you're not alone. So if later sets become less productive, the real question is, what does the research say about the ideal amount of sets? Now here's where most people get confused. Yes, more volume can build more muscles, but there's a massive catch. Studies show that muscle growth increases as training volume increases, up to a point. After that, every additional set provides progressively smaller benefits. Researchers often talk about something called the stimulus to fatigue ratio. In simple terms, how much muscle growth do you get compared to how much fatigue you create? 2 challenging sets provide an excellent ratio. 5 sets often create far more fatigue than muscle growth stimulus. That sounds like a pretty terrible trade to me. If you're enjoying science-based fitness content rather than gym myths, consider subscribing. That's exactly what this channel is all about. But here's something that most studies don't show very clearly. Fatigue doesn't just affect one exercise, it can affect your whole workout. Let's say your first exercise is a bench press, and you're gonna go for 5 hard sets. Sounds productive until you realize what happens next. Now it's time for the incline press. Your chest is exhausted, your shoulders are fatigued, and your triceps are already starting to burn. So you lift less weights, you perform fewer quality reps, and your technique gets worse. One exercise ends up reducing the quality of every exercise that follows it. Now compare that with doing only 2 brutally hard sets. You still stimulate muscle growth, but you have plenty left for the rest of your session. Thus, the quality of your whole workout improves. But the biggest advantage happens when you actually leave the gym. Muscles don't grow during the workout, they grow while you recover. Every unnecessary set creates fatigue for your body to recover from. More soreness, longer recovery, low emotions, and reduced performance in your next session. By reducing unnecessary volume, you recover faster. That means you can train harder in your next workout. You perform better overall for the whole week. And consistency is what builds muscle, not one heroic workout. If you've ever felt so sore that you skipped your next workout, hit that like button. Let's show others there's a better way to train. Now you might be wondering, so should nobody ever do 5 sets? Well, not exactly. There are people that generally benefit from higher training volume. Elite bodybuilders, advanced lifters, athletes with very specific goals. Sometimes they require more weekly volume. But here's one important part. They rarely perform 5 maximal sets on an exercise. Their training is carefully planned out across the entire week. Now, for most gym goers, 2 hard sets pushed close to failure will create all the muscle growing stimulus that they need. That's why many experienced coaches prioritize quality over quantity. So what's the biggest lesson from all of this? If you remember just one thing from this video, make sure it's this. Your goal isn't to do the most work, your goal is to do the most effective work. The first 2 hard sets provide most of your muscle growing stimulus. Every additional set provides smaller returns while creating more fatigue. So train hard and train with intent. Recover properly and repeat consistently. That's how you build muscle efficiently. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like and subscribe for more evidence-based fitness content every week. And also, after watching this, are you sticking to 5 sets or are you going to give 2 hard sets a try? I'll see you in the next one.